नमस्कार दोस्तों, एसएससी ट्रिक वॉल्ट के इस नए विश्लेषण में आपका बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है।
Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new explainer. Today, we're diving into a definitive memory masterclass on what is arguably one of the most powerful and important documents in the world. Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, the home of our fundamental rights. Look, if you've ever struggled to remember which article does what, or if you just find yourself getting totally lost in all the dense legal jargon, you are in the exact right place. We're going to decode the whole thing and lock it into your brain forever using some really brilliant visual analogies. So here's our quick roadmap for today. India's Magna Carta, the anatomy of equality, the journey of freedom, culture and religion, and finally the heart and soul. Let's do this. Kicking things off with Section 1, India's Magna Carta. You know, Part 3 of the Constitution is incredibly famous, often called India's Magna Carta. Now, historically, the original Magna Carta was this massive foundational rights document given to the people of the UK. But in the Indian context, it represents those essential, natural rights that make civilized life actually possible. These are absolutely not just legal perks that a government can casually strip away. They are rights essential to your very existence. Without them, life wouldn't feel like freedom at all. Now, this is a super fascinating geopolitical mix and match. Think about it. We use the British term Magna Carta, right? But India actually grabbed the structural framework for fundamental rights straight from the United States Constitution. It's this incredibly perfect blend of British historical terminology and American constitutional mechanics, totally adapted for Indian democracy. So how many of these core rights do we actually get? Well, when the Constitution was first drafted, it handed out 7 fundamental rights. But today, we're sitting at exactly 6. Why the drop? Well, the right to property was actually downgraded from a fundamental right to a purely legal right back in 1978. So 6 is the magic number to keep in mind today. Moving right along to Section 2, the anatomy of equality, covering Articles 14 to 18. Okay, to easily lock these into your brain, just picture the human body. It's like a visual puzzle. Step 1. Start at the head. That's Article 14. Just like human heads are fundamentally equal in structure, Article 14 guarantees equality before the law. Step 2. Drop down to the eyes for Article 15. Your eyes should look at absolutely everyone equally, with zero discrimination based on religion, race, or caste. Step 3. The hands represent Article 16. We use our hands to work, right? So that perfectly links to equal opportunity in public employment. Step 4. The feet. That's Article 17. We use our hands to touch the feet of elders out of respect, meaning we completely abolish untouchability. And finally, Step 5. The ground you stand on represents Article 18. We are all literally on equal ground, meaning the state abolishes titles of nobility, so no one is artificially elevated above anyone else. So, head, eyes, hands, feet, ground. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Boom, memorized. Next up is Section 3, the journey of freedom. Articles 19 to 22. We're going to map this next set out like a coming-of-age timeline. So, Article 19. Just think of the year 1947, the exact year India gained its freedom. Naturally, Article 19 is all about your core freedoms: speech, assembly, movement. Next, Article 20. Picture a T20 cricket match. In a T20, a batsman only gets out once, right? No second chances to be punished in the same inning. That's exactly how Article 20 protects you from double jeopardy. You can't be punished twice for the same crime. Then you hit 21. Age 21 is traditionally when you secure your own independent life and personal liberty. Article 21 is arguably the most important of them all, the literal right to life. And 22, well, if you misuse that liberty at 21, you might face the music at age 22.
Article 22 outlines all your protections regarding arrest and detention.
All right, Section 4, Culture and Religion, Articles 23 to 30. This whole section acts like a massive protective shield for the vulnerable and a preserver of India's incredible diversity. This isn't just a basic list. Articles 23 and 24, those are your non-negotiable rights against exploitation, shutting down forced labor, human trafficking, and hazardous child labor, period. Then we have 25 through 28, which completely guarantee your freedom of religion. You can freely practice and propagate your faith neutrally, without the state breathing down your neck. And finally, 29 and 30 ensure that minority communities can actually preserve their distinct languages and cultures, and even run their own specific educational institutions. So who actually gets VIP access to all these rights? This is a really fascinating distinction. A vast majority of these rights, like the right to life, apply to literally everyone on Indian soil, foreigners included. But there is an exclusive VIP club of rights reserved strictly for Indian citizens. We're talking about Articles 15, 16, 19, 29, and 30. So things like equal opportunity in public jobs, citizen only. Just remember that exact sequence. 15, 16, 19, 29, 30, and you'll instantly understand the limits of constitutional jurisdiction. Now, here's a crazy fact to really anchor this in your mind. Even if a massive national emergency hits and the president has to legally suspend various fundamental rights for the security of the state, there are two articles that are absolutely 100% bulletproof. Articles 20 and 21 can never be suspended. No matter what chaos is happening in the country, your right to life, your personal liberty, and your protection against unjust conviction remain completely locked in. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, the Heart and Soul, Article 32. This is the ultimate safeguard. Like, what actually happens if any of the rights we just talked about are violated? Well, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chief architect of the Constitution, straight up said that without this specific article, all the other rights would be a total nullity, completely meaningless. He literally called Article 32 the heart and soul of the Constitution. And the memory trick for this one is super easy. Just think of your own smile. An adult has exactly 32 teeth, right? And those teeth act as a physical guard to protect the mouth. Well, Article 32 is the ultimate protector of your fundamental rights. If your rights are ever breached, Article 32 lets you completely bypass the lower courts and go straight to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can then drop 5 types of special legal orders called writs to enforce your rights and get you justice immediately. And there you have it. You are now fully equipped with this ultimate mnemonic blueprint for Part 3 of the Constitution. From the anatomy of equality to those 32 teeth guarding it all, you hold the secret code. But I want to leave you with this final thought. Having rights on paper is really only half the battle, right? Knowing them and actually defending them in the real world is where true citizenship kicks in. So with this new blueprint in your mind, how will you exercise your constitutional awareness today? Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.